Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital spoilers. Agent Kate's eavesdropping discovery. John learns dangerous secret. General Hospital. spoilers reveal that Agent John Cates, Adam J. Harrington, will overhear something that isn't meant for his ears during the week of July 8 to 12. It turns out John will become an eavesdropper, so he'll listen in on a conversation and could easily learn a dangerous secret. Fans know John is eager to finish his latest investigation, and he's confident that the Pikeman case is indeed winding down. John recently gloated to Carly's censor, Laura Wright, about wrapping things up, but he's missing some crucial info. At this point, John is convinced that Anna Devine, Finola Hughes, must be running Pikeman and has demanded evidence from Jason Morgan, Steve Furton, to prove it. The clock is ticking, so Jason needs Anna to come through on proof against Valentin Cassadine, James Patrick Stewart, or else John could send Carly to prison. Anna is hoping to get her hands on the satellite phone in Valentin's house soon enough. Will John eavesdrop on something related to Jason and Anna's upcoming strategy? If so, that could leave John afraid that Anna is duping Jason and trying to steer him in the wrong direction. Then again, John might actually buy the idea that Valentin is guilty, but he could go rogue and botch the takedown plot if he acts on his own. Of course, there are other options when it comes to John's eavesdropping discovery. John might overhear something that gives him more leverage to use against Jason. For example, Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco, and Damian Spinelli, Bradford Anderson, might talk about their illegal FBI hacking scheme within John's earshot. John might end up threatening to send 2 more of Jason's loved ones to prison if he doesn't keep doing what the FBI wants. Michael Corinthos, Chad Duell, will also spill something to Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, on July 10, which is the same day that John will be eavesdropping. That could relate to the time Michael and Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, hid Jason at the boathouse. Or maybe it'll involve Carly possibly turning herself in for Jason's sake if Michael gets updates by then. Regardless, there'll be some risky secrets swirling around Port Charles, just waiting for John to overhear and make some bold moves based on what he's learned. General Hospital spoilers say John will stir up some trouble for more PC residents, so we'll bring you predictions on all the shocking news to come. CDL's where you want to be for fantastic General Hospital spoilers, predictions, news, and updates, so make us your favorite GH hotspot. In the dimly lit corner of Port Charles, Agent Kate sat at Kelly's diner, nursing a lukewarm cup of coffee. The shadows of late evening blurred the edges of her vision, but her mind was sharp, focused on the task at hand. She was waiting for a crucial piece of information, something that could change the course of her investigation. The hum of conversation around her provided a perfect cover as she discreetly activated the small device hidden in her jacket. Across the room, John Doe, an enigmatic figure with ties to various underground networks, was deep in conversation with a man known only as the broker. Their voices were low, their words measured. Kate strained to catch snippets of their dialogue, her heart racing as the device amplified their whispers. "It's all set," the broker said, his voice gravelly. "The shipment will arrive at Pier 55 tomorrow night. But there's a catch, the feds are already sniffing around." John leaned in, his expression hardening. "We can't afford any slip-ups." "What about the security detail?" "Handled," the broker assured. "But there's more. We've got a leak. Someone on the inside is feeding information to the authorities." Agent Kate's pulse quickened. A leak? This was bigger than she anticipated. She adjusted her position, careful not to draw attention, as the conversation continued. "We need to find out who it is," John said, his tone cold and unforgiving. If the wrong person gets wind of this, we're all screwed. The broker nodded. I've got my best men on it. We'll know soon enough. As the two men rose and exited the diner, Agent Cates quickly deactivated her device and slipped out the back door. Her mind raced with the implications of what she had just heard. A shipment, a leak, and the looming threat of exposure. It was a volatile mix that could erupt at any moment. Later that night, in the privacy of her small apartment, Cates replayed the recording, scrutinizing every word, every nuance. She needed to figure out who the leak was and what the shipment contained. The safety of countless lives could depend on it. The next day, at the Port Charles Police Department, Cates met with her superior, Detective Jordan Ashford. Jordan listened intently as Cates laid out the details of her discovery. "This is serious," Jordan said, her brow furrowing. "If they're moving something dangerous through the pier, we need to act fast." Cates nodded. "I agree. But we need to trade carefully. If they suspect we're onto them, they could change their plans." Jordan considered this for a moment. "All right. We'll set up a surveillance operation at Pier 55. But we need to find that leak first. Any ideas where to start?" Cates thought for a moment. The broker mentioned his men were looking into it. "We should focus on anyone with ties to his organization. It's a long shot, but it's a start." As the day wore on, Cates and Jordan worked tirelessly, poring over records, cross-referencing names, and following up on leads. By evening, they had a short list of potential suspects, each with connections to the criminal underworld of Port Charles. Meanwhile, John was growing increasingly paranoid. He knew the stakes were high and that any mistake could be fatal. His mind raced as he reviewed his plans, searching for any weaknesses, any signs of betrayal. At Pier 55, the night air was thick with tension. Cates and her team were in position, hidden among the shadows, their eyes trained on the warehouse where the shipment was scheduled to arrive. The minutes ticked by, each one stretching into an eternity. Finally, a convoy of black SUVs pulled up, their headlights cutting through the darkness. Men in dark suits emerged, their movements precise and purposeful. They began unloading crates, their contents unknown but undoubtedly valuable. Cates held her breath, waiting for the right moment to strike. But before she could signal her team, a commotion erupted. Shouts filled the air as gunfire rang out. Cates' heart sank. The element of surprise was lost. Chaos ensued as agents and criminals clashed. Cates moved through the fray, her focus on capturing John and uncovering the secret he was so desperate to protect. She spotted him near the back of the warehouse, a look of desperation on his face. "Freeze!" she shouted, her weapon trained on him. John hesitated, then slowly raised his hands. "All right, you got me," he said, a hint of resignation in his voice. But as Cates approached, something in his eyes changed. A wicked smile spread across his face. "You think you've won, but you're too late. The real danger isn't here." Cates' blood ran cold. What did he mean? What had she missed? Back at the police department, Jordan received an urgent call. Her face paled as she listened, her eyes widening in shock. She slammed the phone down and raced to the operations room. "Cates," she shouted over the com. "Get out of there. There's a secondary target, an explosion planned for the hospital."